Welcome, everyone, to this weekly live radio show at KCRW 100.7 FM in lovely but currently rainy coastal Brookings, Oregon. Thank you for tuning into this week's exciting program of Doc and Jacques. I'm Dr. Gigi, and I'm sitting next to my co-host, San Francisco Jacques. Wolf, how are you?
Hello, Dr. Gigi, and good afternoon to our guest and to all you loyal and new listeners out there. Welcome to the Doc and Jacques Radio Variety Show. Today is Wednesday, November 13th, 2024. It's a wet, drizzly, windy day out there. Thanks for hanging in with us on this. Get yourself a cup of hot chocolate and sit by the fireplace and listen into this good show. Speaking of food and hot chocolate, today is National Indian Pudding Day.
Yeah.
What the heck is that?
That is National Indian Pudding Day. Today is also Hug a Musician Day. So go ahead, Teresa. Hug the Michael.
Teresa and Michael Powell. Okay, got it. There you go. Hug a Musician Day. Okay.
Yesterday was National Chicken Soup for the Soul Day. You remember Tony Durso? He was a recent guest, and he had actually written some articles for them.
Yep. Tony, how he interviewed them.
Yeah.
He interviews powerful, interesting people, just like we do. Hey, what the heck? Tony Durso is a podcast giant, and we thank him for being on the show not too long ago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, today is also when we want to thank our KCIW underwriters. Just before this MD10 segment, I'll come back to it. She's
after
After I will then. Okay, Doc, what do you have for us today on your MD section?
All right, today we hear some fun facts about the eye and the vision.
We're hearing about vision. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay,
you were going to say, I'm all eye.
I'm all eyes for you, Doc.
Eyes are the second most complex organ in the body after the brain.
Okay.
The eyes contain over 2 million working parts and are made of over 100 million light-sensitive cells.
Whoa. I never did get the eyes. Seriously, it's so deep. But I'll keep going. I'm sorry.
Most of us are familiar with fingerprinting.
Mm-hmm.
Yet retina scans are now commonly being used for security purposes, kind of like in those spy movies when they go up and down the retina.
Eyes, right.
Yeah, so the fingerprints only have 40 unique characteristics, but our iris, that's the color part of our eyes, has 256.
Whoa, that's a lot more than that. But you didn't get me an eye scan, but before you went out with me for that first date, you had me fingerprinted. I remember that. She did a background check on me. She really did.
The muscles that move our eyes are the fastest muscles in our body.
They're the fastest muscles
in our body.
My thighs, my biceps, those are pretty darn fast. Okay, so
they're stronger. Well, they're also bigger compared to the thighs, that is.
Okay.
The human eye can detect over 10 million colors, but it can't see ultraviolet or infrared light.
Whoa.
Not even you,
Whoa.
Even though in the car you were making a joke.
I'm saying how I'm Superman. I can see through steel with X-ray vision.
The eye actually only sees 3 colors: red,
white, and blue.
Red,
white, blue.
Red, blue, and green.
Ah, darn it.
And all other colors are combinations of these.
You're kidding me. I should know that from my art background.
Yeah,
right?
but pigmented colors, or the primary colors, are red,
blue,
yellow.
Oh, forget it. Okay, I'm sorry.
Each eye has a small little blind spot where the optic nerve exits the eye. And so it says really where the optic nerve attaches to the retina, but that's where the optic nerve exits the eye. Now, the brain uses the information from the other eye to make up that missing information.
It's complex, folks. I told you, this eye thing is complex. The first time I laid eyes on you, you were in my blind spot, so you didn't see me.
Brown is the most common eye color in the world. Brown eyes are caused by a dominant gene, which means when you have that gene, you have brown eye color. And blue and or green eyes are recessive genes, meaning you have to have it twice from mom and
She's
man.
not brown-eyed girl. What color? I'm sorry to ask you this. What color are your eyes? I think they're brownish, right? I should know this.
Eye roll. Okay, yes.
Eye roll. She's rolling her eyes right now.
Oops. So this is a cute story. Once when I taught genetics in college somewhere, back in the, when I was teaching.
Good days.
But so that's when we discussed it. Brown-eyed genes are dominant, and blue-eyed parents cannot have a brown-eyed child.
Well.
So this student raised his hand and he said, well, I beg to differ. It happened in my family.
Uh-oh. We know what happened there.
No, that's how he found out that he was adopted. It's a true story.
Oh. He was adopted. It wasn't the mailman. Okay.
Nope, it was adopted.
All right.
The eyes close automatically to protect them from harm or danger. So when we close our eyes when we're sneezing, we don't want any nasal or...
Nasal? Okay. I'm glad she's a professional doctor. Nasal. Nasal, you mean?
Nasal or mouth bacteria in them.
Okay. That sounds really romantic. So don't sneeze before you kiss. Or no, I'll have to forget it. I'll keep going.
Color blindness. Do you know anybody colorblind?
I know it's a small percentage of people.
Okay, so yes, I had somebody in
one of your patients?
No, in medical school who was colorblind, a guy, of course, and he would not have been able to do surgery because they can't be colorblind.
Oh my goodness!
So 8% of men and 0.5% of women are colorblind, red-green colorblind, that is. So now you're saying, wait, why do we have more men than women?
Why are more men 8% and women are only half of 1%? Wow.
Because the gene for the color, the red-green colorblindness is on the X chromosome, and the guys only have one X and a Y, and the girls have two X's. So if they get a sick X, the women, they have a healthy X to not be colorblind, and the boys, if they have a sick X, then they only have one X. The Y cannot compensate for that faulty X.
Boy, this is getting kind of... I'm X-rated, so you're saying? I don't know.
All right. Last but not least, there are about 40,000 corneas that are transplanted yearly in the United States. The corneas are the front part of our eye, the little ploopsy plopping, the bulge coming out. So that one can be transplanted, and a lot of cadaver transplants.
Cadaver? Is that how you Germans pronounce cadaver?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So that's what happens. They've taken from, that's why it says on the back of my license, if I wish to be a eye transplant, body part.
Yeah. So they can be donated, and that is the front part, because you can have you can be blind because of something, the cornea is not working. Now, we talked about the iris before, how everybody has a different picture of the iris, the color part, that is behind the cornea. So the cornea is the front part, and then you have a little
iris, but what's the pupil?
Fluid in there, and then you have the iris behind that is like an f-stop that goes bigger and smaller.
The pupil itself is
the pupil is basically the hole, but it is a hole that has a structure. It's a little ball, a lentil-sized ball.
And then it shines to the crisscrosses, and then goes back to the back of the egg-shaped eyeball.
Yeah, that's the retina.
And the retina's in the back.
The retina's in the back, and we receive the picture that goes through the pupil, and then the nerve impulses go to the brain, and then our brain has to learn what each impulse means.
So deep, because what we see is not really what we see. What we see is taken in through the eyes, then transposed into electrical currents, then run back to what is the thing in the back of your brain?
The occipital lobe.
The darkest part of your brain, where it never sees light at all, is the one that puts out what you see. How about if I was born, raised, and told all my life that a stop sign is blue? I would think that's blue? Or
yeah, you would just name the color that you see as blue. You just would give it a different name. Like we call it, in German, we call the colors differently than you, right? So,
what does a baby see? Was baby see colors right off the bat?
So babies have to learn everything first. That what they see, they don't know what they're seeing, but they're seeing light and dark first, and so they're more prone to see black and white. So the mobiles over.
Oh, the toys and things that are always above them are always black and white.
They're black and white to stimulate their vision. So the color comes later. The differentiation, it's a little precise for the brain that has to be learned.
Amazing things about our eyes. And Doctor, you took my eyes away the second I saw you. Seriously. And you were wearing a mask those days. The Corona days. I would see my doctor. Can I please? She would never you'd never pull your mask down. But you batted your eyes at me. Okay. Well, thank you for that, Doctor. I want to thank Tom Bozak, who's in the engineering, who came down here today on a wet, blustery day in Brookings and to be here to open this up and record this with Tom. Thank you so much. And Linda coming along and always helpful in the background here. I have 3 guests, not 1, 2, but 3. We do, Doctor and I, and we will get to those guests in just a minute. But instead of having a prologue this week, I wanted to say that... where am I? What page am I on? Prologue. There it is. To all of our loyal and new listeners out there in Brookings, Oregon, and far beyond, thank you for tuning into this live broadcast on KCIW 100.7 LP. Dr. Gigi and I are proud to volunteer doing this live radio program every Wednesday from 4 to 5 on KCIW. And if you do not know already, I am the newly appointed director of KCIW. And I want to tell you...
Director of what?
A director of marketing.
The director of KCRW.
Pardon me. Tom's shaking his head. No, man, I am the boss. You are just the marketing director.
Oh, my gosh.
I am the newly appointed marketing director for KCIW. Sorry, I didn't see it. It was in my blind spot. I want you all to know about a special new program here at KCIW. Please say the following word out loud. Ready? Underwear. Okay, that was a joke, just to get your attention. Now, the real word I want you to say is, Gigi, hold on, let me get my piece of paper, is the real word, instead of underwear, is underwriter. Simply put, an underwriter is a person, a family, a group, or business that gives this radio station $495 to support its day-to-day operation. In the Bay Area, these same exact underwriting programs can cost between $10,000, $15,000, even $20,000. I was telling everybody between 3 and 5. I did my research. It's amazing how much radio stations are charging and getting it every day. If you pledge your $495 soon, your group, your family, or business will receive several on-air mentions per daytime hours, 7 days a week, for the next 7 months. Wow. Your name, group, or company logo will be proudly displayed on the KCIW.org website as well. Lastly, Dr. Gigi and I would love to talk to our underwriters and supporters by inviting you to be on this very show and share with our community just exactly what you do and how you do it best. Yahoo! So, folks, this is an opportunity to become involved with your local community radio station KCIW. You could contact me directly by calling Jacques Kepner, Kepner, on Facebook, or call me directly on my new phone, 510-881-3679. That's 881-3679, area code 510. Thank you for your support. And guess what? We have 2 of the supporters already in the studio.
Woohoo!
Yeah, that have joined in just the past few weeks. Shout out to Doc Bellardi, who's become a supporting member and underwriter, as well as the new harbor commissioner in Crescent City, Dan and Phyllis Schmidt, he was just elected this last election a week ago. So congratulations to him. And then Jim Bellardi, Crescent Land Title and Company in Crescent City, but he does work up here, as well as Dan. Dan is up in Brookings quite a bit.
You know, they both really supported this community radio station with their pledge and supported to show the willingness to work together across the state borders. It's really awesome.
And then there's you, Doc. You were the very first. You were the very first woman in my life. And then you came along and you ponied up. You said, hey, $495, I'm doing it. So you were always planning to be the first one. So we appreciate your support. And now we have the other ones right here in the studio. And that's the Curry County Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for joining on board. And thank you for your underwriting support. You 2 ladies are Michele Bubert, who was the acting director, president. All right.
Yes, thank you for having us.
You got it. Yeah. Michele, you've been on before. You got it. And Marie Curtis. Marie, you're what is your official title with the Curry County?
I'm secretary and I'm executive board of directors committee.
Cool. Wow.
Excellent.
Right.
Yes.
Right on. So good to have you two aboard. Thank you for your support of the station. And folks, if they could do it, we could do it. You can do it too. You can find out a lot more by calling me or visiting the KCIW website.org. KCIW.org, right?
Yes. So, Chamber of Commerce.
Yeah.
Yes.
What's going on?
Oh, boy.
So much.
What is it?
Always something going on. Full throttle
We're live.
all the time.
We're live on Facebook. We're doing a Facebook Live right now.
Exactly.
So
We're
you can
gonna
check it out on our Facebook page.
That is so much fun, too. Doing the one you did here last week.
Yeah.
Oh,
was
we had a
lot
ball.
of
Oh,
fun,
man.
right?
You
And I'm-
guys got a lot of viewers. So that
you.
campaign has taken off, doing all Facebook Lives for all of our members. And we are getting well received by everybody. Everybody wants to get on the live.
Ah,
It's a
It's
lot of
great.
fun. It's
Right
a great
on.
way to just stay in touch and just relationship building that way as well.
Right
People
on.
really get to see what our business owners are all about and chamber members are all about.
Yeah,
It's pretty fun.
it is a lot of fun.
You're busy. You have lots of members. You are, I think you're really busy, right? I mean, it's growing.
Yeah, we're regional. So we
regional?
go all the way to Langlois.
Langlois, which is right on the border of Coos, or Douglas or Coos. It's
Coos. Yeah.
And Curry, and then you handle it all the way down to the California border, right?
Yep.
That's your turf.
That's it.
Lots of businesses. Who makes up the majority? I mean, what do you have to be to become a member? Just you have to have a business.
You have to have a business
Or
a
nonprofit.
nonprofit.
Organization.
Yeah. Yeah,
Or
and just sign up and we'll help you out.
What's the general cost just for a small business, for instance?
So like a small business, brick and mortar is $150 a year.
Okay.
And a like a stay-at-home business is $75, and so is our nonprofits.
Right on. So there you got, folks. For under $100, if you have a noble nonprofit or a 501c3 organization, it's a mere $75 or up to $150 for a regular business. Can't beat that. Great deal.
So what is, give an example of how you help these small businesses or stay-at-home businesses?
Well, for one, we do these Facebook Lives.
Yeah.
Facebook Lives. We help with events.
Yeah.
Lots of events. If
Fun
people
events.
have mixers,
Yeah,
if they
like the
do
mixers.
like a anniversary or a grand opening, we're there with the big scissors and we're helping them out,
Right?
getting them all over social media and promoting them. And we also help them out with sending them over to SBDC, and that's it at the college, and also
SWAC.
the CCD.
Right.
So those are free resources for small businesses. So
Right.
yeah, we hook them up with
Is
them.
that with Kim Todd? No? Yes.
Chem Todd, yeah,
Kimberly
CCD,
Todd. Hey, Kim, if you're listening. Yeah, she's
and Gail Goldstone
Goldstone.
Yeah.
Gail. Okay, cool.
at the SBDC at SWAC.
We got to get her on. Yeah.
Oh man, she's amazing.
Yeah, we
She's
need to get
very
her on.
informative.
I just met her last week for the first time. Gigi teaches up at SWAC actually tonight, right?
Yeah.
Monday and Wednesday nights she's teaching at the colleges, anatomy and eyes. Are you teaching eyes this week?
She has
Betty?
a brilliant
No.
mind for
Yeah.
business.
She has an eye for business.
There you go.
So much fun. The mixers are amazing.
Yeah, you meet so
talk
many
about just
people.
Fun events, well attended, with lots of people that are in a party mode. It's, but
After work,
but it's that's
they're
right,
done for the
networking.
day and they want to relax.
They do.
They
want
wanna
to
talk and
business
meet.
owners and individuals in our community. That's a great way to network.
Right.
Right on.
And have fun at the same time.
and have fun at the same time.
Absolutely.
We were amazed how many women-owned businesses, particularly in like up in Gold Beach. So many women-owned businesses that are out there, prolific
Right.
amount, and that speaks volumes to both of us.
So that's a great segue. So we have Women in Business next week.
Okay,
Next
tell
week
us
at
about that.
Augustino Winery
that's gonna
on
be a good
Wednesday
time,
the
guys.
20th
The one down at the harbor?
in the port. Yeah.
What is it
They're-
actually called? It's called what?
Augustino Winery tasting room.
They're the newer businesses in our community, which they do have two other businesses in Grants Pass and
Yes.
Medford. No, actually in O'Brien.
O'Brien.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So, but you're it's at
O'Brien.
Augustino, but what is the event called? I'm sorry.
Women in Business,
Oh.
Curry County.
Yeah, you've been there.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
Jacques attends.
And is Kim going to be down?
Yeah, so we partner with CCD and we help put that event on every month.
And what time is it at?
5:30,
On what day?
Wednesday the 20th.
Oh, you can't go, girl. From she teaches at SWAT.
It's going to be the final.
But guess who's dress up a little bit. I'll go. Promise. I'll go in your steed.
There you go.
Wow.
I'll
And
go
that
till
is next
7:30.
Wednesday. What day is that? That's next the 20th.
Yep, next
And we
week.
do it once a month too. So if
Yeah.
you don't make it this time, there's always next month as well.
Right. And you have less. That's right. You will not be teaching because you're off for early, right? The college has really strange hours. Or, you get up. Right. Okay. On 11/20 at Augustino down at the wine tasting bar and the little snackets and bite seat.
Yeah.
On the 20th of November. That's next week on Wednesday. So
Down in Crescent City.
we will see. No, here.
No, here.
Augustino.
Brookings.
Wait,
Yeah,
where's it?
Augustino Winery.
Remember where our guy was playing guitar multiple times? We've been there.
Porter Harbor.
Sam, the band.
Oh, yeah. I thought it was. Oh, yeah, it is here. Duh.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
You
It's at
didn't
the harbor.
see it then.
Yeah, I
She was
thought,
drinking wine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were drinking too much wine. That's right. And what is your? Oh, I'm not going to say the patient, but there's another very talented guy that sings for you. But we won't. Yeah, we're not going to mention that. Okay, so that's the big thing coming up next week.
Yeah.
Where do you see this chamber growing leaps and bounds for the next?
Since we
foreseeable?
became regional in January, yes. Yes. We have
First year,
seen
regional.
so many new members, mostly out of Gold Beach because they don't have a chamber. And we did have a women in business meeting up in Port Orford, and we were very well received. Great people, visited a lot of great women-owned businesses out there. And yeah, we're going to be heading out there probably in a couple months.
Right on.
Yeah.
And it goes beyond the border. I know that Jim Doc Bellardi from Crescent Land Title just became a member, right?
Yeah.
He operates out of California.
Yeah.
But because of his business, he does come up here and he can work out here.
Yeah.
So good for you. I hope you keep growing. Where do you want to? How long is your term, Michele? How long are you director, president?
How long is my term?
Well, the bylaws, I believe, is every 2 years, unless she gets reelected again, which I don't see why she wouldn't.
Right. Where is the actual office?
Right across the street.
And
Yeah, it's in the central building. So you see Remax Coast and Country.
Right.
We are downstairs.
Downstairs.
downstairs
Main
from
Brace is down there as well, which are chamber members of ours as well. So
Marie and Michele are best friends, best buddies, and so you're not far working even.
No.
On the videos together.
That's
Yeah,
right.
they do all these videos together. All right, I think we are about there. I'm so glad you came in. This was a
Yes,
short
thank you.
cameo appearance by the two of you. You two are always welcome. We sincerely thank you from our bottom of our KCIW collective heart for the generous underwriting support you're giving us. So I really appreciate
Yes,
that,
thank
becoming
you.
involved
Our
with
pleasure.
that. We want to just put out the word how many good things the chamber is doing, and you two are dynamic components of that. So
thank you
so
for being
much.
a part of KCIW, being part of Chamber of
Yeah,
Commerce as well.
that's
We
fun.
appreciate this.
Right on.
And we enjoy collaborating with you guys. It's always a lot
Right
of fun.
on.
Yeah,
Great
you guys are a lot
energy.
of fun.
Yeah, we always have fun when we get together. Okay, so for the live people up there, you're going to say goodbye because we're going to do a switcherama
We
because
are.
we have a third guest in the studio. So as you two are beginning to switch out and move that away and take your camera down, we are going to be, I'll give you a rundown on our next guest. There you go. Ladies, thank you
right.
so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Our next guest came to our attention, just a couple months ago. I think it was Tom Bozak, our engineer, who said asked us to check out this dynamic gal that is doing so much in our community. And Dr. Gigi and I love when we get women, empowered women that are doing wonderful things on our program.
Yes,
And,
because we have a little subtitle called Ladies First for
That's
women who make it in the business.
Who excel at what they do best, right?
Yes.
Okay, now, our guest is none other than Rita Howard. You're going to have to get tuned in right now, but just give a speak, and Tom's going to tune you.
All right. Hey, I'm Rita.
Hey,
Good to
Rita.
meet you guys.
Right on. What is your title and your actual position?
Okay, I don't have an official title. My name badge just says volunteer.
Wow, cool.
And that's what I do. I volunteer. I have served two different 3-year terms on the board
Of
of
volunteering?
directors,
Oh, okay.
as secretary, as president, and as vice president.
Wow.
So I've been active on the board of directors over the time. I've been volunteering almost 9 years at the center now. And I actually started volunteering there based on other volunteer work I was doing.
I've been doing
When I first moved to Brookings, I got involved with the community kitchens through St. Timothy's Church.
right on.
And I met someone who was at the time working at the activity center and said, hey, you should come volunteer up here. So I did. And now I wear lots and lots of different hats
Proverbial
when I'm
hats.
there, sometimes a hairnet if I'm in the kitchen. So I have to include that in my hats. But
So you're a volunteer at the Chetco Activity Center.
yes.
Tell us in a couple of words what that is. A couple of sentences.
Okay.
Yes.
The Chetco Activity Center it was incorporated in 1980. It started in the late 70s with a bunch of people who were retired. They'd get together, play a few games, make a pot of soup, somebody'd do some homemade bread, and they decided to turn it into a senior center. In the early 80s, Virginia Manley donated the land. And
the art
building.
gallery, Manly Art Gallery people. Okay,
Virginia
this is
Manley.
fascinating.
She and our other benefactress, Mildred Perry, they put up the funds for the land, for the building, and we also have an investment account that when we're making money, we can draw from the interest in order to help support the ongoing operations.
You are 501c3.
We are a nonprofit, 501(c)(3), and we are supported primarily through donations.
What is the mission statement of?
I had to make a copy of it because
Hey,
it's
go ahead.
short,
Everybody-
but I couldn't
We asked
memorize
us,
it.
Do it. Read it.
And
down.
keep in mind, this mission statement was written prior to the renaming of the facility and opening it to the community as a whole. The purpose of the Chetco Activity Center is to provide services, functions, and activities for seniors in and about Brookings Harbor. In the early 80s, I believe it was about 1984, they named the facility officially the Chetco Activity Center. And at that time, they decided that it wasn't limited to just seniors. It is a community center. However, the programs and the services we provide are primarily aimed at senior citizens.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah.
We have a large percentage of population here in the area that is retirement age. And so people need a place to go, hang out, have a meal, play some games, listen to some music, go to Tai Chi class.
Right on. Good.
I was asking today about how many people on average come in and out the door.
Okay, how
and
many
it's
people come in and out of the door on average?
Well over 100
Every day?
every day on average.
Wow, how cool is
Now
that?
that takes into account that we have the Tri-City Bridge Club. That's about 40 members that meet and play bridge 3 or 4 days every week. We also have our Tai Chi classes, a yoga class, a karate class, and during tax season, we do the AARP tax preparation program where people can make appointments and come in and get their taxes done.
Interesting.
For
Are most
free.
of these programs free or are they low?
Everything is free.
Yeah.
Membership at the center is only $20 a year. We will be raising it to $25 January 1st.
All right, 25 bucks.
Because, well, everything else in the world
Yep.
is going up. So we decided we are doing that as well. Lifetime memberships are $200. And those will also go up January 1st. So if anyone is interested in obtaining a lifetime membership, through the end of the year, you can still get one for $200.
All right.
And-
Otherwise, it's going to cost you $25 a year and for the yearly fees. Very reasonable.
And we don't require that folks have membership to come in and participate or have lunch or go to a class or something. We encourage them to make a donation to the center.
Yeah.
Right.
And our lunches, our kitchen prepares about 100 meals a day.
Wow. Let's stop right there. We have to break for a station identification. I want to get back right away to Rita Howard is telling us about the Chetco Activity Center here in Brookings, Oregon. You are tuned in to KCIW 100.7 FM, located in beautiful downtown Brookings, Oregon. We're an LP station, and we are happily guided through the airwaves due to, in part, Tom Bozak, our engineer. So thank you for tuning in. You can also find out more information about this station and how you could become involved and volunteer and donate your time and money by going to kciw.org. Okay, we're back with Rita Howard. Thanks, Rita. So keep going there. So you're serving 100 people a day. Babe.
So out of those 100 meals, 60-ish are delivered under the Meals on Wheels program by volunteers who pick up and go out and deliver meals to folks that are homebound.
And that is that paid for by insurance at times?
There is, for the meals that we do, both the Meals on Wheels and the meal that's served in the dining room, for anyone who is 60 and over, we get a small reimbursement. It's like $2.53 per meal that we are reimbursed under, South Coast Business and Senior Nutrition grants.
Wow, cool.
That is the only actual income other than donations that we receive. We do rentals of the facility. We have a kitchen and a dining room on the upper level that folks can rent. We are able to cater events, or people can bring in their own catering. And then we have a couple other smaller meeting areas, rooms that folks can rent for their events. We do have the Curry County Cruisers. We'll be hosting
The car club.
Yeah.
Yep. They'll be having their Christmas banquet with us again this year. They've been really wonderful supporters of the center. In fact, one of the members of the car club, Roger Mitchell, is our current president of the board of directors.
That's wife Laura. Is it Laura?
Jenny.
Jenny? Okay, I had mixed up people. We've had them on our show. We've had the Curry Cruisers.
I'm pretty sure they've been on the show too.
Right on. Yeah, thank you. Where is the actual location of the
We are located at 550 Chetco Lane, which is not the main drag, but we're right up behind the Subway restaurant.
So you're driving north, and you're going to go past Freddy's, and you're going to go past the grocery outlet on your right.
And then you're going to take a right just past the Subway.
Just past the Subway.
In between Subway and Century 21.
Okay,
That's
there it is.
Chetco Lane.
And it's a beautiful building, right?
It is a gorgeous building. We have a nice terrace in the dining room and big windows, beautiful ocean view. We have one of the best views of the Pacific anywhere in town. It's just gorgeous. And it's pretty fancy. Now, keeping in mind that the building and most of the decor is, in its 40s now. So I always tell people that the dining room kind of reminds me of that formal living room, dining room area I was never allowed in when I was a teenager, unless it was a special occasion, of course.
Right.
Now, we looked online on the website, and you guys offer a lot. And there's, number one, you have a great website. Number two, we found just about everything there. What the meals that you offer and the art activities. It's very multifaceted. We were pretty impressed with
We
that.
have a lady, her name is Katrina Upton with, I believe it's called Dahotra Consulting, and she does not charge us a single penny. She puts our website together and keeps it up and running for us at no charge.
Very nice.
We also get some support from CU Senior Living. They fund putting our menu in the newspaper every week so that gets published. And then they come in and talk people up, and we promote them as well. I've been working, this is my second year of not being on the board of directors. I wanted to get a different perspective. So I've been spending a lot more time doing other jobs that I didn't do before,
Right.
including working in the kitchen, chatting with the staff.
Right.
We only have 4 paid employees and they all work in the kitchen. So everybody else is a volunteer, and nobody can give me an exact number of volunteers because it is well over 100.
Fantastic. I mean, Meals on Wheels alone is a huge benefit to any community. Nationwide, Meals on Wheels are everywhere.
It is.
But, man, when you're serving up to 60 Meals on Wheels a day here just in town, congratulations to
that
to
takes
this
a
activity
lot
center.
of volunteers.
Yeah.
And we have some people who work 1 day a week, some people who work, 1 day out of the month doing volunteer delivery of Meals on Wheels.
So you do have a board of directors. It's
We
a
do.
501c3. You meet once a month?
The board meets once a month. It's the third Thursday of every month. Board meetings are open
I was going to say,
to the
open to the
public.
public. Cool.
Anyone's welcome to come in and see what's going on at any time.
Who's the current president?
Currently, Roger Mitchell is our president.
Cool.
And then Thane Groff works as our vice president, and he's also our volunteer general manager. So he's the one who makes contacts when something needs to get fixed or taken care of.
Right on.
And he also works with another lady by the name of Judy May Lopez. The two of them do a lot of grant writing. So we do
So
get
you're
grants.
supported by grants, or you
We
give
get
grants?
some grants for big projects. Like we had to replace our entry doors. So that was a process of getting some grants together. We've gotten money from Roundtree Foundation, the Ford Foundation, both All Care and Advanced Health have provided funding. But it's the day-to-day operations and maintenance of the facility where we need more and more donations. Everything has gone up. Food prices have increased over 40% since COVID, and we have not raised the price. We offer a meal to folks 60 and over at no charge. We encourage that they make a donation, but our cost to produce that meal is a little over $10.
Oh, each meal?
And then we get that little reimbursement through the state of the $2.53, but we make the rest of that up, through donations.
When are the operating hours?
Operating hours are basically from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Monday through Friday. And then lunches run from 11:15 until 12:30 Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday. So the people who cook, the cooks, and you're sometimes a cook, you said.
And your son, right? Your
I
son?
help my son. He's been working in the kitchen for probably a little over 2 years now.
What's his name?
Marcus Stoddard.
Marcus, peace and love to you, man. What's going on? Shout out.
He is a great guy. I am so proud of that
Right
kid.
on.
He's the youngest of my 3, but I finally got it down, I think, after the first 2.
So the cooks, are they actual cooks? Have they gone through some apprentice something, or is it on the learning on the job?
It's mostly learning on the job. We do have one of our kitchen staff who has probably 40 plus years cooking in restaurants professionally.
Yeah.
And he actually came to us a few years back just wanting to volunteer. Ended up volunteering 5 days a week for us in the kitchen, and we liked him so much we didn't want him to leave, so we had to give him a paid job.
Very nice.
And you've got over 100 people that volunteer, interact some way or another.
If you include, like I said, all of the people who do Meals on Wheels, we have people that volunteer in the kitchen, we have people that volunteer in the dining room, we have receptionists downstairs, all of our exercise class instructors are volunteers, and then all of the people who come in and do taxes for the AARP tax program are all volunteers.
So how is that handled if you, like, let's say you say you had a karate teacher or karate class. What if somebody gets accidentally hurt by kicking too high and then falling on the butt or something? Then what happens?
We do have liability insurance that would cover any kind of an accident for participating.
Yeah.
Just like our workers' comp covers all of our volunteers.
I see. Good.
If somebody were participating in a class, we do have insurance available that I'm sure if their own insurance doesn't cover it, it should probably kick in at some point.
Now, what about dish? Do you have plasticware or real dishware, like China type thing?
We wash our dishes and our silverware every day.
Okay.
And then when we have special events, of course, we bring out the good dishes. Daily dishes are just little plastic, well, they're not little, but, plastic plates and stuff.
But they're being reused.
But they're, not disposable.
Nice. Okay.
We do have to use specific containers to package all of the Meals on Wheels meals. And those little containers are $1.25 each.
Wait a minute. What part of it? The take-home one?
For the Meals on Wheels
Oh,
meals,
I see, yeah.
we have a sealing machine, and it uses a specific type of container that we're required to use for any of the meals that are going to get frozen or that are going out to be delivered.
Are they reusable?
No.
Wow.
Wow, that's sad.
So that is a big cost for us. Like I said, not only
60
is food
times
expensive,
$60
but
at $70?
Yeah.
if you've got 60 of those a day going out, and then some days we do soup, and it has to go in a separate little sealable container.
This is 5 days a week. Let me get that straight, right?
Yes.
It's 5 days a week.
And the Meals on Wheels folks also they actually get 7 meals per week, because on Thursdays we send them 2 extra frozen meals so that they have something for the weekend.
And yet, if I'm over 60 and I'm low, I don't have much income, I could actually technically go in and get a free meal. However, for anybody else, give $5, $10, $15, $20, whatever you can afford, right?
It is a donation for anybody 60 and over. We do charge, if people are not 60 years old, we do ask that they pay $7 for a meal. Wow. Now, and when you're sitting in our dining room, your meal is not just your meal like you go to the drive-thru at McDonald's, where we serve a salad prior to the meal. We serve dessert after the meal. And, of course, we have coffee and tea and iced tea.
And you get that $1 million view.
And you got a great view.
Let's go. Let's check it out. Yeah.
Conversation. I sometimes just sit and listen to people, and maybe I don't agree with everybody, but just enjoying people interacting with each other. We call it a gathering place because that's really what it is. It's a place for people to just go and be. And we get the newspaper for what it's worth, and we do have the paper available.
So
if you just
Rita,
want to read the paper.
I want to remind you and other listeners out there that are in charge of noble organizations and groups such as yours that KCIW offers each week, that time for you to come in and make a PSA or a public service announcements. It's usually at 2 o'clock on Wednesdays. Tom Bozak will be here. And you can record what you're doing that week, what you're doing next week, any special activities, and we'd be more than happy to broadcast that out on the air. So you just have to come down, be at 2 o'clock on Wednesday, and Tom will get set up, and then you can put the word out about the Chetco Activity Center.
Well, I had to bring the whole calendar with me because I cannot keep track of all of the different activities. There's something every single day. And like I said, there's no way I could remember all of these things.
No, but you also have fundraisers, don't you?
Yeah, big one coming up, right?
That's one of my titles.
Yeah.
I am the event coordinator, organizer. I like to call it party planning because that sounds like so much more fun. And
party planner. Okay, yeah, I do too. I like that. I'm a party planner.
In my younger days, I was an awesome party planner. But, nobody throws keggers anymore. And
darn it.
I'll tell you, after doing paperwork with OLCC just to be able to offer a complimentary glass of wine, I understand why nobody does keggers anymore.
Yeah, keggers. I haven't heard that word since Chico. Back in the day. All right.
And I've never heard it.
It's where you drink like the whole keg of beer.
Where you buy a keg of beer and then you charge people $5 for a red Solo cup that they can refill.
We'd bring up it took 2 minutes to lift. 2 of us would have to carry this thing up the stairs, and we'd set it in the bathtub with a bunch of ice, except one time we dropped it on the toilet and split the toilet in half. It's a heavy keg. We didn't care about it. It's had water everywhere. We still drank the beer.
Oh.
But that was back. It's a beer. She's German. She knows.
Ah,
Although she knows about it.
they have real beer in Germany.
Do you interact with any other civic groups?
We do. I've been reaching out and collaborating with other groups. This last summer, the end of June, we worked with Three Penny Theater, which is a new theater company here in town. We tried doing dinner theater. We threw a summer cabaret where we had a variety show and did all-you-can-eat fish and chips.
Wow.
And that was a very successful fundraiser. Right now, I'm working on our Thanksgiving Day luncheon.
That's the big one, right?
Yeah.
That
Relish.
is usually, that's something we've done every year for way before my time. Almost since the center started, they've always offered a Thanksgiving meal fundraiser. Tickets are available at the center. They're $35 a piece or $30 a piece if you buy 5 or more.
Okay.
And all of that money, actually, any money that comes in through donations, ticket purchases, raffles, even the membership, all of that is tax deductible. And so we encourage people, to give what they can. If you can't make the fundraiser, you can always go online and make a donation or come in person and make a donation.
Drop off some money, yeah, sure. We do the same thing here at the stations. Everybody's welcome. Come in.
So what is that Thanksgiving turkey dinner? What does that entail?
We will have, of course, roast turkey, mashed potatoes, gravy, stuffing. Most likely there will be yams or sweet potatoes of some sort. There's going to be salad. I believe the kitchen told me they were going to do a pea salad. We'll have rolls, of course, all of the traditional Thanksgiving. And I'm still up in the air. I'm kind of the dessert person for any kind of events or big meals that we got going. So I noted our pantry has a stockpile of graham cracker pie crust, so I'm thinking pumpkin cheesecake.
Have you ever seen how many have you ever checked the calorie content of crusts you buy at the store? Unbelievable.
Yeah.
One crust, that little thin thing the wrapper, it's 1,000 calories.
Your little piece of pastry has almost as many
Unbelievable.
calories as what you're filling it with.
Absolutely. What time are you running the festival or this Thanksgiving
The
fundraiser?
Thanksgiving meal runs from 11 a.m. until 2 p.m.
On Thanksgiving?
on Thanksgiving Day.
At the Activity Center, okay.
Yes. And if folks are unable to attend and they do need a Thanksgiving meal, they can come in during lunch the day before, Wednesday the 27th, between, say, 11:30 and 12:30, and we'd be happy to send them home with a prepared meal
So
that they can
the
have
meals
for
are going to be
Thanksgiving.
prepared the day before then? Okay.
We will have a meal. I can't guarantee it will be turkey, but it
Or the
will be a
cheesecake,
meal
right?
that folks can take home. We've been trying to save up frozen turkey meals. We do turkey lunch at least once a month until we get to the holiday season, of course. So our last turkey day was the 30th of October. And we managed to, make enough extra that we've frozen some of those meals for those who can't afford or aren't able to come in on
Now,
Thanksgiving
how
Day.
big is your freezer?
We just got a grant last year to replace our large walk-in freezer.
Walk-in refrigerator.
That was a humongous task because pretty much our building and kitchen was built around the existing appliances. So we had to pretty much tear part of the kitchen out in order to assemble a new walk-in freezer. And then we also have a chest freezer and a couple of upright freezers. So we have a lot of frozen storage.
Yeah. Do you get are there suppliers, wholesalers that you buy from, or do you like it's a grocery outlet has them for $18.99? These frozen turkeys.
We do a lot of shopping locally when we can get things on sale because sometimes it's cheaper than using Cisco or some of the other food service companies that are available. And a lot of times we're able to get things donated. We get donations through the Rotary. They have a group of folks that run over to Harry and David's in Medford and collect donations from their warehouse.
Thank you, Rotary. There's another civic operation.
Yeah, like I said, we partner with a lot of different people, and being as I have a connection with St. Timothy's Community Kitchen, they've been wonderful about helping us out with, donating when they have excess food and we are in need.
What's your favorite thing about your job?
What do you like best?
Well, I am a helper by profession. And so I enjoy helping people. I enjoy coordinating. And like I said before, party planning, that's a big deal for me. I like that a lot. It's just, for me, it's being of service to the community and to others.
So you like the volunteering better than the presidenting?
Administrating?
Well, I did a lot of that in my past career, which it's like that whole other life I used to have before I moved here. And
What is it? What is that, doctor? Some symptom that you have? It was a technical thing. If the people that give and volunteer get a high, like similar to
the helper high.
the helper high.
Yeah.
Whoa, man! I got
saw
helper
a little
high.
meme about that I shared all over Facebook about a month or so
I think that's
ago.
what we.
I was
that's where we saw
encouraging
it.
people to come in and volunteer. I want to feel good about myself.
Yeah.
And by doing good for others and giving my time, I don't have a lot of money. I'm not very physically fit, but I can still give of myself in some way that's meaningful.
On a helper high, yeah.
And
I'm a helper
it gives
high.
me a little
Yeah.
buzz.
Yeah, it gives you a total buzz. What's the least like thing you? But what don't you like about working at the activity center?
I had to think about that one for a while, and I decided it's the fact that I have what one person called helium hand, which means that as soon as somebody says, "Who wants to?"
No, helium hand.
my hand just
rises.
flies up into the air. And I have a habit of letting myself get a little overcommitted.
Yeah.
So that's probably the thing I like least, is that there's just not enough time to do all of the things I want to be able
What's
to
your
do.
astrology sign?
I'm a Virgo.
A Virgo. Okay.
So I'm also a bit of a perfectionist, and,
Okay.
that takes a little extra time.
She just looked at me. I don't think I've asked a guest what their astrology sign is.
But I'm sure it's very
I used to be a Taurus, but then I changed it to, what did I change it to?
Gemini.
Gemini, yeah. She's Gemini. I liked her more than my Taurus, so I moved my date
It's
up.
only a
Till
week
days.
You can
off.
pick and
Yeah,
choose.
yeah, you can.
Well,
Tell
He's
her.
only a week off his.
Yeah, I have 10 days. I had 10 days, May 13th.
Yeah.
Then
But you didn't have to go.
I was
that
Taurus all my life, but now I tell people May 23rd and how I'm a Gemini. Like,
Yeah.
I try to be like my dad.
Gosh,
Where do you see yourself personally, right? 10, maybe 5 years from now, 2 years from now? Let's look at the.
well, hopefully I'm still living here on the beach, because
beautiful, beautiful.
this is my Zen place.
Right.
And I also hope to still be involved with the activity center. I purchased my own lifetime membership a few
Nice.
years ago. And every time I look around and I see something that needs a little fixing or tending to, I keep thinking, well, I sure hope this place is still going to be here in 20 or 30 years, because maybe I will be too.
Right.
And I'll
Right.
want to be able to still come.
Yeah.
Any of these
good.
buildings, on the coast, as I'm sure you've experienced, you just said you replaced the doors. When it gets battered by the weather and the salt and the wind and the rain here, they need special attention. And so you've got to pay for those things, right? You have to fix the doors. You have to fix the leaks. You got to
Yeah,
put new
and
gutter in,
it is,
painting.
somebody has to clean the gutters and
That's right.
take out the weeds, because, everything grows like crazy around here. And even if we had somebody that was, working part-time out there 3 days a week, they'd still have a lot of work to keep up on just to do the grounds maintenance.
How do people contact you and the Chetco Activity Center?
You can go online. Our website is chetcoac.org.
Okay, Chetco AC.
For air conditioning.
For Activity Center.
There we go. Okay, activities, Chetco Activity Center.org or AC. Okay.
And on Facebook, we have Brookings Harbor Senior Center / Chetco Activity Center. We've
Can you make it any longer?
Well,
let's go.
it stinks, but the fact
works.
is that Facebook never lets you get rid of a page.
Right, yeah.
And people in the past have created pages, so
Okay,
I had
Brookings
to get a
Harbor
little creative with the
Senior
name.
Center /
Chetco
Okay, it
Activity
comes up.
Center.
We saw it. We looked at it.
Yeah, we
It
looked
came up.
at
We
it.
just
It's
put it-
really nice.
My hope by throwing Senior Center in there was that when people from out of town are here and they're looking for specifically a senior center, I figured that way it would, pop up.
Cool. Phone
online.
numbers? Any phone
The
numbers?
phone number is 541-469-6822.
Okay.
And you can call anytime during business hours. And we do have voicemail, like,
541.
old school voicemail.
541-469-6822. How come I don't get phone numbers like that?
You have a good one now.
Yeah, it's okay. 3698.
And
Okay.
you can, like I said, call anytime. I'm only there usually around lunch hours a few days a week. But there's always somebody available that can answer questions, let you know when a class is or what's on the menu that day.
Right. We have really found out so much stuff about this incredible entity in our midst, in our community. I'm so glad we have, because the Chetco Activity Center is doing so much
So
and
many good
impacting
things.
so many good things.
Amazing, yeah.
The Meals on Wheels, all the things you're interacting with.
Yeah,
these people
look at
and
the
helping.
calendar every day.
100 people coming in every day. That's amazing. That's so
The
good.
center itself, in my opinion, I think it is an extremely valuable resource here in the community.
Okay. There
And
it
we have a lot of really good community resources for such a small area. It's really been eye-opening for me. Oh, we're back to the eyes again.
There we go.
Just to
ties
see
together.
how much is really out there in the community. We have a lot of folks that are, really awesome volunteers. Many of the folks
Thank you
at the
for all
center
those
have been
people.
there for
Yeah.
40 plus years.
Hey, clap here
Yes.
to Rita Howard, who's representing
nice.
the Chetco Activity Center. We're so glad you came in. And
Thank you.
Let's do a 6-month rendezvous. Every 6 months, come on in and we'll talk about what's going on.
All
That'd be
right.
fun. You are a great guest. Thank you for
Yes.
so
Well,
much.
Thank
thank
you.
you for having me. I'm glad
appreciate
we
it.
were able to connect.
Yeah,
tonight.
I am too.
Like I said, I'm always willing to chat up the center.
Hey,
to
I'm waving to
anybody
Tom
who's
Bozak now.
interested.
Tom Bozak was the one pointed your way. All right, Doc, we only have a minute and a half or so to get on to the
Yes.
fun time
All
corner.
right. Fun time corner.
But let's see. Did I already say that I recently got fired as a psychic?
No.
I never saw it coming.
Okay.
Okay, what's up? What do you got?
The closest people come to perfection is on an employment application.
That's so true. The people. That is good. I just put a pool in the backyard, folks. So
Yeah.
Dr. Gigi and I are backyard, but I'm not going to fill it with water.
Why not?
It's for people who can't swim.
So stupid.
Last night, I was Dr. Gigi gave me some sleeping pills, and I read the label, and it said, "Warning, may cause drowsiness."
It does actually say that, right? I mean, if you
Can't
did
believe
have.
it. Yeah, okay. What else you got for us?
Before you criticize someone, walk a mile in their shoes. That way, when you do criticize them, you're a mile away and have their shoes.
Hey, Doc, I invented a new word:
Yeah, what is it?
plagiarism. That is so dumb. I'm sorry.
That is
All right,
dumb.
give us another one. We got another
But we're
minute.
done. Okay, I'd kill for a Nobel Peace Prize.
You'd kill for a Nobel Peace Prize. There we go. Last week, I had my visa stolen.
Yeah.
Now it's everywhere that I want to be.
Sorry to cut you short. You have
Are we
funny
done?
jokes this
Are
time.
we
Yes,
done?
but we're at the end of our show again. You have been listening to Doc and Jacques on KCRW LP 100.7 FM in Brookings, Oregon. This was another eye-opener about
great
eye-opener
show. Thank you,
about
Rita.
what services are out there in our area.
Yep,
Thank you,
and
Rita
thank you.
Howard with the Chetco Activity Center, Senior Activity Center.
All right. Peace and love to everybody. We have some great guests in next week. Stay tuned. Thanks again, Tom Bozak, for engineering. You've been tuned into KCIW.
.org.
100.7 FM.
Goodbye.
Bye.